Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. So today we have Kendra back. We are going to completely do a removal of her last set because she is changing her shape and length. She's going to stiletto and she's going longer. So I'm just showing you some of the things we're going to be using today. Those were the Crafts by 9 3XL stiletto tips. I've been using those to do coffin sets with her lately. She got a new job, no restaurant anymore, so she can have them as long as she wants them, which is almost full length, you guys. I only snipped a little bit off of these 3XLs. They ended up being about a 2XL length. So I'm just going to show the removal here. I'm going to let you guys watch while I talk. I did do a poll on my channel to ask you guys if you wanted everything in real time for me to show everything. So I did kind of a mix between, I am doing everything in real time, and I am showing everything, but I'm not showing all of everything. So like right here, I'm showing you how to snip off, how I snip off tips, but I'm not showing you both hands, if that makes, of course that makes sense. I don't know why I always say that. I removed my dust collector because when I do this, sometimes nails drop in there and then get stuck in there for all eternity. So I do turn her hand upside down and I do snip at the end of her free edge of her natural nail. And I angle my nippers in the direction that the tip is going. You never want to use tip cutters and just go in. That's going to jar your client's finger really bad. And then I'm going in on a speed of, I believe, 14, between 14 and 16, depending on where I'm at. And I'm going to do removal with this 4-course safety bit from Not Polish. The acrylics we're using are a custom-made acrylic from one of my nail sisters in New York, all the way from New York. She made that color for me and I love it, that pink color. I'm going to ombre, and then we're using that beautiful holo glitter from Not Polished that I showed you. I believe it's called Starry Night, but I don't have it in front of me. Something weird happened when I was applying that I will show you guys when I get there. Now, Jana, usually there are birds in my video, but I'm outside at night, so it's crickets for you guys tonight. So after I get this down to a level where I can see her natural nail and or my clear layer that I laid when I begun this set that I'm removing, I stop and I go on to the next nail and remove all of them to that level. And then I'm going to put her in some acetone to soak off while I do this same procedure to her other hand. When I'm done with her other hand, this hand will be ready to come out of the acetone, which I'm going to show you here in a second. So that's how the level I get the acrylic down to right here. And then this next screen, this is, she has come out of the acetone. I don't usually do this, but I want you guys to know, to recognize what acrylic should look like when it comes out of acetone. It should be crumbly and kind of flaky like that. There should be zero gumminess or stickiness or stringiness. And I don't remove acrylic after a soak off with a hard metal object like a cuticle pusher. I just pull it off with a soft, clean paper towel like you see me doing here. I only used the metal cuticle pusher to scrape a scoop off to show you guys. And then I'm going to go and just fine tune her free edge. I'm going to push back her cuticles and I'm going to go in with a ball bit after this and really buff out any dry skin that she has around her nail plate. And how are you guys today? Thank you for joining me, watching this video. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know how long that noise went on. I get involved in what I'm doing and don't hear the noises around me. Sorry about that. My ball bit was on a speed of 8, and I'm going to go in with a Profiles Backstage medium sanding band and a Not Polished mandrel bit. My Not Polished e-file is on a speed of 3 for this, and what I'm doing is I am removing any cuticle from her nail plate. I am making flush the remaining clear acrylic that might be left on her nail, as well as any nail tip or glue from the last set, and I'm removing the shine from her natural nail. I'm doing this very gently. This is in real time, so you can see this is a very gentle I'm not using any pressure. I'm just laying this on her nail plate and moving it around. So I hope you guys can see that in real time and how zoomed in I am. That I like to say floating. I'm just floating this across the top of her nail so that there is no damage. After this, I'm going to go in with some swipe and clean off her nail plate. And then I'm going to size and glue on her tips. I've mentioned this before, but not for many, many videos. Oh no, I just dusted them off and then I go in with the tips. Use Young Nails glue. Mentioned this before, but especially when I get to this next nail, you'll see I have to put her, she has a very oval shaped nail, a nice high apex. Her natural nails are actually just gorgeous. But I have to seat the nail tip up higher than I would normally on anyone else's nail, like right here, because for the sidewalls to meet, I have to, because of her oval shape and her extended hyponychium, I have to put this up higher, and I have to put them on where they look a little bit bigger than they are because they end up kind of wrapping around her sidewalls and shape of her nail, if you can see that here. So when I start shaping these, first I'm not going to use magnets to trim these. I'm going to use cuticle to cuticle eyeballing because I want them a little bit longer because I have to file them from a coffin back into a stiletto. And I am going to slow this down and show you guys some shaping tips that I learned the hard way. So I'm going to be putting a little finger in here and show you guys where to leave a gap, where to file, where not to file, and where to put the pressure on your file. And I hope I can see it with this recording bar here. So I think it's coming up. Okay, right here, I stop to show you guys where the pressure of my file is. Right here, I am touching her natural nail because I'm making flush the tip. I'm blending her tip right here. But after that, I'm going to start right here is where I'm going to put my pressure to start making this back into a stiletto. I'm going to do that on both sides, alternating so that I can't see the whole thing I did with this. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. So that ends up making this shape. If you don't check your sidewall shape, you're going to end up with a nail that looks like this, which I learned the hard way. So we need to fix that. To fix that, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to leave a gap here. If I put I'm going to put the pressure here. See how there's a gap there? When my file has closed that gap, then I will be done. And I want to stay away from her natural nail, or you're going to dig out like a gap there. Tell me if you've done that, you guys, where your sidewalls look like they have. I'm going to show you again here. See how it looks like that? So you can end up laying your acrylic and not noticing this till the end. Put your pressure here, leave that gap. When that gap closes, then you know you've met your shape, but you have to stop there and keep your pressure on here. Here's where you want your pressure. And you're going to move your file away from the natural nail, or you're going to create a divot there. I'm sure you guys have done this, I'm sure you know what I mean. So I just wanted to show you that because that was just, I used to create that divot in the nail right there where the natural nail meets the tip on the sidewall and ruin the shape every time. Or I wouldn't look at my nail shape from the side until my acrylic was on, and I would be doing so much filing with acrylic on. All right, so I'm going to go in on a speed of 3 or 4 again with that same sanding band, but I flipped it around to use the grit of the other side, if you'll notice that. I'm going to blend her tip, just make sure there's no high ridge where I glued it there, make sure it's blended to the sides, and then to make sure I have the shape and length correct, I'm going to whiten out, I'm going to buff out the whole tip to make them white so I can see them better. It just helps me see my shape better when I'm doing an extreme length or shape like this. I like to do that. Now I'm going to go in with some swipe, cleanse and dehydrate the nail plate, get every little bit of dust and everything else off of them to get ready for acrylic application. I'm going to go in with my King of Kings primer. Look how gorgeous this looks. Ta-da! Looks so nice. This injury here on her nail, you'll see, if you look, it's already a scab. She came in with that. But as you guys know, if you watch my channel, anytime I'm working on Kendra's fingers, just from holding her, like right here where I'm holding her hand with my hand, she'll get pink. She's a very, very sensitive skin. She's a redhead. She's very pale. She does say hi to you guys at the end of this video. Anyway, so her cuticle area and fingers always look pink when we're done with a set, and I can't change that. But that was a prior injury. Anyway, going in with this gorgeous hollow color. As soon as I laid this bead, Kendra said to me, Jen, you didn't do a clear layer. And she was right. I always start with a clear layer after my primer, and I didn't do that. So what you guys are going to see is as soon as I'm done with this bead, I'm going to put a clear layer on this nail and go in and put the clear layer on the other nails. But as soon as I cap this glitter in clear, the hollow goes away, and it literally looks like aluminum foil. Watch this, you guys. This tripped me out. I'm like, where did the hollow go? Like, what? I haven't noticed it yet. You'll see where I notice it, because I've already picked up a bead for, I still haven't noticed it yet. But when I go back, so I'm going to do my clear layer on all the rest of my nails. And when I go back to working on that nail, that's when I'm going to notice that everywhere that my clear is capped, essentially, because my clear layer went over it, the hollow's gone. So I put the bead that I was going to put on the ring finger down on the paper towel next to the bead that you see laying there already. And then I cap that in clear to see if, like, what is going on. And then I grab some top coat and put it on there to see if that brings the hollow back, and it does. So what I end up doing is, okay, so here's where I notice it. Look at the pinky, and then I show it to Kendra, and I'm like, look at this. The hollow went away from me capping it. So I take the bead that I already had on my brush, I put it down, and I'm going to clear cap one of them, this one here, and I'm going to see if it does the same thing. And it does. So I know at this point that before I cap the rest of these nails, first of all, I need to put a thin layer of the hollow glitter back on the pinky to get this aluminum look away. And I'm showing it to you guys. The one on the right, I haven't capped. So after I get all this hollow on, I go in with a top coat to protect them before I cap them. I did learn after this, you guys, that wasn't necessary, that even though this looks like the hollow's gone and it looks like aluminum, as soon as I top coat it, it all comes back. So I don't understand the nature of this. I don't know why it does that, but if you buy this acrylic or you're using it, or this has happened to you with another brand or another acrylic, I don't know the reason for it. But it will go right back to being a gorgeous hollow as soon as you put on a top coat. Whether you do it the way I did it here, and the reason I did it this way is because I didn't know. I didn't want her set ruined, so I figured I'd be safe than sorry. So this is all in real time. I do speed up okay. When I get to using the custom-made pink acrylic that I ombre these with, the acrylic I showed you at the beginning that was named Jen, that's the one my friend in New York made for me. It's the second batch she has sent to me because I can't find it anywhere. The closest I can find to it is a color called Sexy Hand by Not Polish, but that is a little more opaque and white and pink and creamy. It's just different. It's not as sheer as this one. And by the way, this one that she gives me also has a little glow to it, which I wasn't able to show in this set, but it's just a faint glow because she does use a glow powder when she mixes it. Anyway, it's not polish. I don't know what she uses to make it, but it has a more gummy texture. And so when I go in on this hand to do the ombre, I was struggling a little because it wasn't the consistency I was used to. So I sped up the application of the cuticle and ombre beads on this hand, but I gave it to you in real time on the next hand. And on the next hand, I sped up the application of the hollow. So you get to see real time in both, but just on different hands, FYI. And when I get to filing, I am also showing you guys some of the same little finger pointing tips that I gave you on pre-shaping these. Now, what I was trying to get to, and I couldn't think of the word while the video was playing and I was going, that was going by, is when you put pressure, when you're filing any shape, almond, stiletto, coffin, and you put pressure on your nail file up against your free edge where I showed you to leave a gap just a minute ago, you create a notch there. Like you literally take a notch out of your sidewall that you can't get back, and it looks terrible. If you've done this and you know what I'm talking about. I did this so many times, and it's literally, so many nail techs tell you, keep your nail file straight, keep it at a 90-degree angle. And yes, they're true, but they never tell you where to keep it away from and where to put the pressure. Like, I had to learn that the hard way, and so that's why I put that in this video for you guys. Hopefully it's helping anyone that's struggling, or you guys may already figured it out for yourself and be, saying, aha, yeah, like, been there, Anyway, I just try to give you guys little hints of things I run into along the way in each of my videos. So tomorrow I actually have time to get in my room and do a set of nails on myself, for content, a pop-off set. So I just want to get this voiceover done and get this video off my phone and scheduled to post. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it tomorrow or not. I think I'm going to let it set in YouTube so it uploads, because I have so many close-up shots. I don't want it to upload too quickly and then be blurry for you guys. I literally detest that, because I spend hours doing this set and days and hours editing, because it's important to me. I don't want it coming out not good. Also, I wanted to mention, you guys, this glitter acrylic operates like all Not Polish's other glitters, or I'm sorry, acrylics. Very nice. But these hollow pieces were so tiny and so thin, and it was so finely packed in there. Pardon me. It was a different application for me also, so I know you're probably seeing a little bit of a struggle on both hands, because it was different for me. What was I saying? Oh, so in this, to get to my point, I'm not going to be doing a subscriber shout out in this video, but I will do it in the video that I'm recording of myself doing my nails tomorrow. Unless that is my 100% intention and plan tomorrow, unless something that I can't predict happens and I'm not able to. After that, though, you guys, here's where I'm going to be capping these in clear before I cap them with Drea's top coat. I love this top coat because it's nice and thin, and the only reason I love Not Polish Gloss It, you guys, is because of its staying power. How it stays glossy and it never chips. 4, 5, 6 weeks working in a restaurant, etc. You guys have seen it with Kendra. That's why I use it, but I don't prefer how thick it is, to be honest with you. I prefer a thinner top coat, but I use it for its quality. So the reason I use Drea's is because I would use that in every set, because I like the way it performs. It goes on nice and thin and easy, and I love it. So I did protect these before I capped them in clear, because I didn't want to lose the hollow. Anyway, like I mentioned, not doing a subscriber shout out in this one, because I just want to get this out, and it takes a minute to go to the channels and edit the clips and all of that stuff, and I just want to get this out. So I haven't forgot to continue my swatches with you guys. What's up next are going to be browns, grays, silvers, whites, milky whites, and then I'm going to do all my chisels, and I'm going to do some clears. Those are my plans. I'm not sure when those are coming up. Those are the plans for my channel. I'm going to let you guys watch this application. I'll be back. And I didn't mention it yet, but of course, as usual, I am using Acrylic Clear to cap these. And as you can see, it works like no other. Just so luscious. It's like the best clear. It is the best clear I've ever used. I used to say that about Kiara Sky, and that is my second favorite next to this. But one thing I also love about it is because it just, you see the beads I can get with it and how I can just, oh my God, I love capping with that clear. And it does look like, you'll see when I finish with this one, cloudy, but it's not. As soon as you file it, that stuff is crystal clear. It doesn't leave air bubbles. It goes on just luscious. I'm so sad I'm not gonna be able to get any more. Like, what I have is it. But if you guys follow her, if you guys follow Lucy from Acrylic Cure, you'll know that what she went through was literally heartbreaking and literally unheard of and disgusting and unreal. And she said she doesn't want anybody feeling sorry for her because it's just a stepping stone and she's going to get through it. And I agree with that 100%, but I do empathize with that situation. It was absolutely horrible. That it would have dropped me to my knees, literally. But what can you do but move on? So I can only hope one day that we can get some clear back from her. If not, I will just be happy to finish up and use what I have and go back to Kiara Sky. So anyway, yes, that is what I'm using here. And so I'm not going to put that in the description box because you can't get it anymore. Nanny. No, just kidding. I'm trying to think of what else I can say when we get to the filing here. So the next, shots are going to be filing. I'm going to use that gorgeous knot polish bit that I used last time on Kendra's Nails. It's my favorite. It's so sharp and it gets right into the edges. I love it. And I did say what it was called in the last video. They are out of stock right now, but I did talk to them. They're not off the website because they're off the website. They're off the website just because they're out of stock. I think it's called a long barrel flute, or long skinny barrel flute or something. This gorgeous thing I'm going to show you right here. But they will have them back, you guys. They're just out of stock. So I am going to be, like I mentioned, showing you guys some tips. Not some tips. I'm going to be showing you this, basically the same thing I showed you with the hand file, with the e-file. When you go up your sidewalls right here, if you do not keep this bit completely straight like I have here, you are going to create that notch that I was talking about. Same as if you would do it with your hand file. So I'm going to show you that here in a minute. I'll let you guys watch till that comes up. By the way, this is in real time, not sped up. I'm not sure I actually finished what I was saying before about how I did a poll and I ended up doing a happy medium where, so I made this video like 45 minutes long. I did kind of a mix. Most people did vote for, it was 66% that voted for give me the hour-and-a-half full-length thing. And I tried to do that, but it was just too much. It was repetitive because I do the same thing on each hand, you know? So I did a happy medium where I got everything in here and in real time for you, but not super, super long because there were some of you that voted no removal, just show me the acrylic, and some of you that said, make it a little shorter, but show me everything. So I did a mix of it all. If you guys don't like the removal, of course, you're welcome to just fast forward right through that up to the points you want to watch. So I'll jump back on when I start showing you my little tips. Be right back. By the way, guys, I do have my e-file on a speed of, I think, 17 or 18. I'm not trying to debulk, but I'm just going real slow, as you can see. This angle right here, you need to do this if you want to get a little, if you keep going at this angle, that's where you're going to give yourself a notch. So if you see, I'm going to straighten this up and only go straight up the sidewall here. That is what I was trying to show you, and I do slow it down on the other hand and show you what I'm talking about there. But I'm going to get into hand filing here in a minute and give you some tips about that as well. Well, it's something that I learned that's really important. I do want to show, like, just this bit. Oh my God, look at the work it does. It's just so amazing. And this is in real time. It's just awesome. Awesome, awesome. You can get your nails so clean and sharp with this bit. I love it. I'm sorry I didn't buy one sooner when these started trending and coming out. When you're going to come down the other side, you're going to do the same thing. You don't want to angle your file, your e-file, in where your free edge starts coming away from your natural nail. You want to go straight. You keep that file straight up and down, like right here, straight up and down. Don't notch it in. Don't angle it under the nail. Straight, straight, straight. See how I'm doing that? Okay. This area right here, where you can see where my file is, right there. That part, getting that part, the same narrowness, the same width as your client's natural nail. It's hard because you have to get a file up in there, right by their skin. You have to try to not touch their flesh. You have to try not gouge them out, right? But I notice a lot of people do not thin out that area, and it just gives a bad shape to the whole nail. And I'm talking about right there. That has to be the same width as your client's natural or your own natural nail. The same width as your nail bed. Kendra here has very narrow nail beds. And the tips that I put on her match her nail beds. So if I have made the acrylic wider than that, then I need to go in right here like I am and thin that out to meet the shape and width of her natural nail. So I'm just showing you guys right here how a lot of work has to be done right there sometimes. And if you don't do that and keep it straight without tilting it underneath and giving yourself that little notch, that's why some texts talk about the 90-degree angle and everything. It's, if you're not doing nails, it's hard to hear 90-degree angle. If, I don't know, that was just never something that clicked for me until I started doing it and making the mistake myself. So I use this sponge buffer. This is extremely, extremely fine. I don't even know what the grit is, but the sponge helps it kind of grab and wrap around the skin and the nail. So I always go around my client's skin with this, around the cuticle, the free edge, underneath, like you see me here. This really, really, even though it kind of does nothing, it gets all the acrylic and debris off the client's skin, and then also gets it off your cuticle area, like right there. Because it's a sponge, you can see how it, when you put pressure on it, it kind of grabs and wraps around. It's just one of my favorite tools. I love it. These are expensive though. I only use these on returning clients because they're also large. So if you use this on just one client one time, you're throwing $15 in the trash. Like, these are expensive. I don't know if that's the cost of them. I haven't bought them in a long time because I bought a pack and I'm hoarding them. But this is Kendra's. I use it on her all the time, and there's I mean, she's been coming for over a year this last time, and this has plenty of grit to it. I haven't changed it, new one. Here's where I was showing you the angle. See this? Keep it straight. When I was explaining it earlier, this shows you what I meant by that. Look how this just takes it off. You've encountered this before, right? Where you take your bit over the arch of the nail like that, and it just stops. It just comes to a skidding stop. Look at this. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, and right here too, keep it straight, keep it straight. And sealing my cuticles. After this, you guys, she's going to get up and go wash her hands. By the way, she did wash her hands after her soak off because acetone continues to seep into your skin. Make sure your clients do wash with soap and water after their acetone soak off before you go on to your next step. So anyway, after this, she's going to get up and go wash her hands. I'm going to give her a top coat with Gloss It We're going to do some cuticle oil, some pictures, and Kendra's going to say hi to you guys. This is the end of the set, or coming up anyway after the top coat. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you learned something. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for being here, you guys. I appreciate and adore you all. And by the way, after she washed her hands, because she used soap and water, I am going to use Swipe to make sure the top coat will not separate on me. There's no soap on her nails. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for showing up. I adore all of you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, now you can say hi.
Okay, hi YouTube.
Thank you. Took a video of that second.
And like that's why I hate when I see my naked nails, because I can see it, and my pinky's the same way. You definitely need flash with this set too, because of all the fucking glitter.